Welcome back, Tracing and Trekkers. Well, time for the final review of the day with Cueless. Lieutenant Jadzia Dax returns from the Gamma Quadrant in a runabout with a woman that Chief Miles O'Brien recognizes as Vash from his time aboard the Enterprise. Although the crew is unaware of his presence, Q, a nearly omnipotent prankster, is also stowed away on the runabout. Vash explains that she has spent the past 2 years in the Gamma Quadrant, but describes her method of getting there as a private matter. During their trip back to Deep Space Nine, the vessel undergoes a series of unusual power drains. Soon after Vash's arrival, the station begins to experience similar power failures. In the meantime, Q appears to Vash, apparently infatuated with her. Q was the one who transported Vash to the Gamma Quadrant 2 years earlier, but now she wants nothing to do with him. Much to Q's annoyance, when Dr. Julian Bashir asks Vash out for dinner, a jealous Q uses powers to send Bashir off to sleep. Meanwhile, Quark arranges to auction off various items Vash has found in the Gamma Quadrant, including an unusual crystal that must fetch a high price. Remembering Q from the Enterprise, O'Brien spots Q on the station and warns Commander Benjamin Sisko, speculating that Q may be responsible for the power drains. When confronted, Q denies any wrongdoing, although he offers no alternative explanation. As the power drains become more severe, an unknown gravimetric field begins pulling the station toward the nearby wormhole. Q challenges Sisko to a boxing match on the promenade, and suddenly they are both wearing antique-style boxing costumes. A few punches are thrown, and Q is shocked when Sisko knocks him down. "You hit me! Picard never hit me!" Q exclaims. And then, of course, we all know what Sisko says after that. "I'm not Picard!" Vash and Quark auction the artifacts, and the crystal receives bids in excess of 1,000 bars of gold-pressed latinum. Casually joining the bid process, Q ups the ante on Vash's crystal to 2,501 bars before bidding 1 million. Soon after, however, the source of the gravimetric field and power loss is traced to the crystal itself. The crystal is quickly beamed into space before it can destroy the station. Once outside, it transforms into an alien life form and travels into the wormhole. After the incident, Bashir finally awakens from his slumber. Unaware of what has just transpired, he yawns to tell Dax that he feels like he's been asleep for days. But amused Dax gives him a strange look, to which Bashir replies, "What? Did I miss something?" "Yeah, actually, Bashir, you missed a lot of things." So anyway, let's look at the production of this episode, beginning with development. The writers and producers of Cueless developed the episode to show that DS9 was still connected to the Star Trek universe. To facilitate this idea, 2 TNG characters, Vash, played by Jennifer Hetrick, and Q, played by John Delancey, returned to DS9. Vash made her first appearance on TNG in the episode Captain's Holiday, and then returned in Cupid. Q had appeared in most seasons of TNG since the first season. TNG writer Hannah Louise Shearer, known for writing episodes such as The Price and We'll Always at Paris, also crossed over to DS9. Cueless was the last Star Trek writing credit for Shearer. Shearer's pitch featured Vash, who had last been seen at the end of Cupid, leaving with Q, but the pitch did not include Q himself. Executive producer Michael Piller explained that they had already been looking for a way to introduce Q into DS9, and felt that bringing Vash onto the show would be a good way to seamlessly introduce Q. There were concerns about shoving Q into an episode, but the idea of Cueless alleviated him. Quote, if you just have him come on and say, "Look, is this a new show? It's silly, but this seemed to be a justifiable way," end quote, Piller recalled. TNG writer Robert Hewitt Wolf, who had writing credits on a number of episodes, including both the previous Vash stories, converted Shearer's story into a script. His work on the first draft led to a full-time position on the writing staff for DS9. Q was added to the story at this stage. Q's motivations were drawn from his previous appearances on TNG, but Wolf found it difficult to create the interactions between Q and the other characters on DS9. At the time the script was under development, there was little footage of DS9 available. Wolf could only characterize the motivations towards Q as annoyance rather than any real emotional engagement. However, he came upon the idea that he could demonstrate the difference between DS9 and TNG by showing the reactions of the characters to Q instead. Now let's move on to characters. Wolf believed that if he had written the episode later in the series, he would have concentrated more on the established characters and less on Q and Vash. Delancey felt that the episode never explained Q's motivation for wanting to stay with Vash. Quote, "I think Q is best when he deals with large philosophical issues, and score chasing isn't just one of them," end quote, he said. Because of certain aspects of Q's character are left unexplored, Delancey found that, quote, "the style, the quips, and the penchants in which things are done become very important," end quote. The boxing scene was intended to differentiate the relationship between Q and Sisko from that of Q and Picard. Quote, "Picard is an explorer, and in some ways very much an intellectual. Sisko is a builder, a different kind of guy. He wears his heart a little more in his sleeve, and he acts on emotion, on instinct, more than Picard," end quote, Wolf explained. John Delancey offered a similar opinion. Quote, "Q's relationship with Picard has always been a battle of wits. But I come on to Deep Space Nine, and Sisko just bought me on the nose. From a character point of view, that's a very big difference," end quote. Hedrick felt that the move away from TNG gave Vash more independence, and she enjoyed the new relationship between Vash and Quark, calling them, quote, "kindred spirits," end quote. She was also pleased to be working with Delancey again. Quote, "I love the way they write for John, and I love the stuff we got to do together in Keyless," end quote, she said. Hedrick underwent 10 hours of makeup for the sequence where Q shows Vash what could have happened if he did not save her life following an insect bite in the Gamma Quadrant. The experience left her with a newfound appreciation for not having to wear prosthetics like other members of the cast. Hedrick thought that if she returned to DS9 as Vash, then something could be built around the Vash-Quark relationship. Quote, "That would be a really nice pairing, because you have these two different backgrounds, but they're both after the same thing," end quote. Towards the end of the second season, the producers inquired about Hedrick's availability. The actress was ready to appear on another DS9 episode, but the writers changed direction and there were no further plans for the Vash character. Aww. Keyless was the final Star Trek appearance for Hedrick, and the only appearance in DS9 for John Delancey. Okay, make that a double. Aww. Anyway, finally, let's look at filming. Director Paul Lynch compared the production on Keyless to a typical TNG episode. On DS9, the shots were more complex and generally featured more special effects. Lynch said that the scene which showed Q seamlessly teleporting himself from one chair to another, changing his costume as he went, was particularly difficult. The producers, particularly Rick Berman, was determined for DS9 to be the best that it could be, notes Lynch. The comedic elements of the episode required precise timing, with Lynch comparing it to the television series Moonlighting. I have not seen that show. Maybe I'll check it out at some point. So overall, this is a pretty darn good episode, and it is kind of a bummer that this is the only appearance of Q in Deep Space Nine, but hey, I'd rather take one appearance from him than none, am I right? So overall, I give Keyless 4 warp cores out of 5. Well, tune in tomorrow as we take a look at Dax. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.